This has been a day of sadness and reflection after news broke last night that Pat Williams lost his fight with viral pneumonia. He fought for nearly 2 weeks after being exposed to a virus on a flight. But despite a strong heart and a strong will, he passed away. His legacy, however, will live on here in Orlando forever. The impact of Pat Williams can't be overstated.
Pat had as much of an impact on our community and on the city of Orlando as Walt Disney did.
The list of those impacts are too long, but the mayor of Orlando agrees.
Pat is obviously an icon in this community. He changed the whole scope of our community when he was able to be one of the founders of bringing the Orlando Magic to town. I think we weren't thinking big before Pat got here, and he certainly put us on the map.
The team honored him by making him the first inductee into its Hall of Fame.
I think legacy is important. I think after we've left this planet, you know, what are you remembered for? And I hope I will be remembered for coming down here cold turkey and taking the ultimate gamble.
In 1986, Pat was convinced by Orlando businessman Jimmy Hewitt to leave behind an NBA championship-winning Philadelphia 76ers team to try and bring a team here.
To come down here with no parachute on basically the word of Jimmy Hewitt, who said, Bubba, if you come down and head this up, we'll go forward. If you decide to stay in Philly, he said, we're just going to drop the whole thing.
Pat said yes and went about getting others to say yes, from season ticket commitments to staff, logos, uniforms, the arena, and every detail in between, including luring away a great announcer.
Pat Williams was probably the only person that, as I look back, could have convinced us in a city that had no pro sports was preferable to the University of Florida Gators.
And happened only because this dreamer was a doer who believed in the magic of Orlando.
None of it would be there without Pat Williams.
That is true. Pat was a friend and invited me into his home. I met his children who loved him dearly, 19 of them, 14 adopted from other countries. The outpouring of love from the city, the NBA, former players, friends, and fans has been extraordinary. And today, Channel 9 sports anchor Alex Walker talked with the first player Pat Williams drafted in Orlando. And Alex joins us now in studio with more.
Hey, Greg. With the 11th pick in the 1989 NBA draft, Pat Williams drafted Nick Anderson, the 6'6" guard from Chicago, Illinois. Nick telling me today that choice to draft him changed the direction of his entire life and made his dreams come true. In the 35 years since that special draft day, Pat became a second father to Nick. Since the day Nick arrived in Orlando, Pat showed him the ropes and showed him how to carry himself as a professional. Pat took a chance on a young man from Chicago and was there for Nick through the good, the bad, and the ugly. Nick adding that on draft night, Pat saw something in him that maybe he did not see in himself. That belief is so powerful. Years later in 2014, Pat and Nick were the first inductees into the Orlando Magic Hall of Fame.
You know, him looking up at me and smiling. You know, that smile, it meant a lot. That smile that he gave me was like, hey, let me know that I did something right. I don't know what it may have been, but I did something right. And he was letting me know that he was proud of me. Yeah.
That's powerful right there. You can tell how much Pat meant to Nick. He said that last night his kids asked him why he was crying, and Nick told them it's because he lost a father for a second time. He hasn't been this ripped up since his own father passed away, but now his basketball father has gone to join his dad in heaven. Darlene, back to you.
All right, thanks Alex and Greg for your incredible reporting honoring his legacy here in the City Beautiful.